only I had a better countdown. Oh, wait, I do.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go.
All right, good morning this Sunday morning. It is time for NFL Pregame Party, Week 17 Tailgate. And wow, I didn't catch what Knock was telling me last week. We didn't cover half the games we were going to be watching. I forgot completely we had a Saturday
I tried to tell
schedule.
you didn't
Yeah,
want to listen.
I forgot completely we had a Saturday schedule, but I still don't want to do the show on Saturday until Wild Card weekend. So, but we will cover all the games today. Anyway, good to see you guys. What'd you say, Knock? Go ahead.
So now we don't have to.
Come on, bro. Come on. Got to. The only one I don't want to cover is the Seahawks shit. And we'll talk about that when we talk about Thursday Night Football. Holy shit. But anyway, John, how are you this fine Sunday morning?
I'm doing good.
That's good. Good to hear you. How's the book selling? Is it selling?
It's out there.
I know you got a hardcover.
Yeah.
Sale the other day. I know that for sure because I bought
I sold a couple of ebooks and a couple of paperbacks. So
that'll work. Good deal. Knock, how are you this morning, brother?
Meh.
Yeah. Neither one of our teams we're kind of backpedaling towards the playoffs, aren't we? Jesus Christ. But anyway, we'll talk about all of that. Let's check in with the chat. Killy Chow is here this morning. He says, hey, good morning, everybody. And he says, hey, it's 2 more days until the ReliaQuest Bowl and the only bowl game that matters, Roll Tide. Well, we know our man Killy Chow is a big Bama fan, so good luck with that one. We'll find out who they're playing here in a minute when Knock fills us in on all the college stuff, man.
Oh, now you put me over.
That's right. I'm throwing you in.
I was trying to look for something, but okay.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah, so just a couple ones to look at. It was a pretty good week for bowl week. Bowl weeks have been pretty good. We had this second overtime game in the Potato Bowl with Northern Illinois and Fresno State, 28-20 in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
In fifth overtime, I think it was fifth overtime, something like that. Or no, was it just? Oh, it was just first overtime. I think one. I can't remember what happened in this one. But mm-hmm. South Florida over San Jose State, 41-31. That was a good game. Mm-hmm. And then we had another overtime game with the Toledo getting over Pittsburgh. That was sixth overtime.
6 overtime.
Yeah, the South Florida San Jose State was 5 overtimes.
Fifth overtime. Yeah, I was doubting myself, but yeah, fifth overtime for that one. Then sixth overtime for that one. And then you had Rutgers and Kansas State, 44-41 in the Rate Bowl. Arkansas State over Bowling Green, 38-31. So that was a close game. Syracuse offense was unstoppable, 52-35 in the Holiday Bowl. Navy knocks off Oklahoma in the Armed
Oh
Forces Bowl,
yeah, yeah,
21-20. Oklahoma tried to go for two and didn't get it.
yeah. Well, hey, that's when you're a losing school right now, which is what they are. You gotta make desperate attempts like that. Hey, what you gonna do? We got gutted. It's been well documented. I don't want to talk about them anymore. Cool.
Vanderbilt takes out Georgia Tech. ACC, I think, is like 1-8 right now in bowl games. So
Really? Wow, that's
yeah,
bad.
they're getting crushed in these. Arkansas over Texas Tech, 39-26. Offense looked really good in that one. USC got a late win over Texas A&M. So that was a pretty interesting game, 35-31. I would have paid more attention to this game. Unfortunately, this game I had it on, but it was not at the same time as the Broncos game. But it
Yeah.
looked really good, 42-41. Cam Ward only played the first half after he got his touchdown that got him the passing record in FBS, and then he didn't play in the second half. But he had the Pop Tarts Bowl, which is becoming very popular.
Yeah.
it's,
Just because of
it's
the
a fun
Pop Tart. Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
wonder
good.
what flavor was the Pop Tart?
I think this one was cinnamon this year. I can't remember. I didn't watch it, so I didn't get the yeah. So
He's too
once,
busy watching his beloved Broncos. Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
But Iowa got that one by 1 point. BYU beat up Colorado. I'm not really sure. I think this was another game that was going on. Well, it's like 7:30. I think this one started Eastern. By that time, I was footballed out. Too much
Yeah.
stress. So I didn't really watch this one. But Sanders and Heisman apparently couldn't do nothing in this game. So kind of interesting. And the story was Shedeur Sanders wearing New York Giants cleats to the game, and well, I guess he's playing for the future now, and that's exactly what he's going to look like in the future, I guess. So interesting one there.
Ooh.
So not a good omen when you put a potential team on your cleats, and it wasn't even like just the colors; it had New York on it.
Yep.
So that was interesting. So not a good game for them. Seems how they played all their starters. So. Army. I didn't watch it. It was too late for this one. 10:30. I was already in bed.
Yeah. By
27
the time the last
to 6.
NFL game was over with, that one was in the third quarter and it was already out of hand. I think it was like 21-3 at that point.
Yeah,
I'm
so
glad I
it's
didn't
like
go to
that.
this because it rained all day here. It was ugly.
Then that's definitely an Army game. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So
Mhm. I'm sure
yeah.
they pounded the hell out of them on the ground.
that's for sure.
Yep.
27 carries for 127 yards. Yeah, they that's all they did was run. Bryson Davis.
And that's the quarterback, guys.
Yeah, that's the quarterback. Yeah. This is pretty cool. The baseball bowl, I guess you want to call, or basketball, excuse me.
Yeah, the basketball.
UConn.
Yeah.
UConn in North Carolina. UConn 9 wins this season. That's pretty good for them. Still an independent school, so they made it to 9 wins. So it was the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. A lot of criticism because they had the dumb poles in the way because the camera looking at the field, it had the like random poles up in the middle of the camera shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Be like, oh, maybe we should have played a baseball field, kind of thing.
Okay.
Nebraska. This is a couple coaches you may know: Matt Rule in Nebraska and Bill O'Brien at Boston College.
Wow.
Nebraska got the win in this one, 20-15.
Fuck Nebraska. Okay, go ahead.
TCU rolled over Louisiana. This wasn't even a game. This was ugh. That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Miami rolled over Colorado State. Good win for them. Mac action right there, 43-17.
Miami of Ohio is actually one of those sneaky schools can beat just about anybody when they want to, man. Woof.
And I think that this is the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, by the way. So yeah.
Yes.
he had
Yes.
fun
A bowl game. I saw that. A bowl game sponsored by a musician.
I gotta find the picture of the end zones. They actually looked really cool.
Did they? Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the other one was the Military Bowl, East Carolina and North Carolina State. I didn't really watch a whole lot of this one. I had it on, but again, it was around the same time as the Broncos game, so wasn't paying too much attention to it. And of course, so those are the games yesterday. So kind of looking at this week, We got one game on Monday, Iowa, Missouri. So
Yeah,
John will
somebody
be
on the panel might be worried about that one.
yeah
Yeah.
2:30. So it's an easy time to watch. I'll probably be listening to it on my way home from work. So yeah, I'll be hopefully we're watching that one.
Cool.
And then we have a couple other bowls. I'll mention those first before I go into the championship.
Yeah, let's talk about
Uh,
the minor bowls first. Yeah.
yeah, the extremely minor bowls, extremely minor that no one cares about in this game at all. Specifically, the team that couldn't make it in there, Alabama and Michigan, in the Rely Quest Bowl, the Nobody Quest Bowl. Anyways,
Hey, Keely cares about that one, and I agree with you. Keely, you're right. The Patriots need to play one game every year at Fenway Park. That would be cool as hell. It would be. Yes, go ahead, man.
And then the Tony the Tiger Bowl, which is one of my favorite bowls, Tony Tiger
Yeah.
Sun Bowl, Louisville and Washington. This might be a decent game. Washington
Yeah.
played pretty decent. They lost a lot of games, but they're not a bad team. 1 year removed from the runner up last year, the year before. Then 3 o'clock, you got the South Carolina Illinois game, might be a decent one. And then you got Baylor and LSU in the Kinder's Texas Bowl later that night. Let's take a look here. Playoffs. Texas Gator Bowl on Thursday. Duke and Ole Miss. North Texas and Texas State. This is a pretty good Texas Bowl right here. First Responder Bowl on Friday. Duke's Mayo Bowl also on Friday. Minnesota and Virginia Tech. And then the last bowl game is Saturday, which is Buffalo and Liberty. Might be an okay game.
Yeah.
Um,
Good morning, Lord Thoth. Good to see you.
Yeah, so just kind of skipped over it, but we got the quarterfinals. The first game is being on Tuesday on New Year's Eve. That's Penn State and Boise State. So I get to watch two Broncos losses in 1 week. It's great.
Oh, come on, bro.
I mean,
Come on, you can do it,
tough. Ashton Genty needs 130 something yards in order to break a record. Barry Sanders' record, and Penn State has one of the best run defenses in the FPS. So I don't know. That's going to be their only chances if they can get him running. So we'll see what happens there. But what's interesting is Boise State is 3-0 in the Fiesta Bowl, and Penn State is 7-0 in the Fiesta Bowl.
Whoa!
So they're both undefeated in the Fiesta Bowl. It's kind of funny. So interesting there. Then on New Year's, you got Texas and Arizona at 1 o'clock Eastern. That's the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. So we'll see if Arizona can, use that bye to maybe take it to Texas, learn them a little bit, but who knows? Then you got the rematch, Ohio State and Oregon in the Rose Bowl. That's going to be interesting. Oregon's reward for getting first place and undefeated is to play probably the second best team in the country. So good for them.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
And then
good for you.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations, Oregon.
Yeah. See, that's
again.
what I'm saying. They need to go to like the NFL thing. They should be playing. Texas or somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody that didn't win their conference. Shit.
Well,
anyway, go ahead.
Ohio State didn't win their conference, so that kind of loses your argument there. But they didn't play in a conference, so they were even second place in the conference. So yeah,
I understand.
See, by ranking, this is Ohio State.
I
is
got
eighth,
it. I
so,
got it. Yeah. Go.
But Notre Dame and Georgia is interesting. Georgia's Carson Beck has got elbow surgery, so he's out for the rest of the season.
That might be good for Georgia.
And he's he's not coming back for this game. So we'll see what happens in this game. Notre Dame's looking pretty good, but they tend not to show up in the big games. So we'll see what big game I'm in playoffs. So right now we're looking at the bracket right here. As you can see, just kind of simplify it.
Yes, sir.
That looks good. The winner on this one, you got Boise State. Penn State will either play Notre Dame or Georgia, and Ohio State and Oregon will either play Arizona State or Texas in the semifinal.
So you're not confident about the Penn State game?
I would have liked a lot better to play SMU. It would have been more fun.
Yeah.
But no, Penn State I think got the easiest route, except for maybe Texas. But I don't know. Broncos defense is not very good. They're opportunistic. They do get sacks. They do get after the quarterback, but they're kind of like the Broncos of our team now, except we don't have a running back on our team. We have a committee where they have Ashton Genty. So it's going to be up to them. Can they get the push on the Penn State guys to keep it close? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm obviously rooting for them, but I don't like that they have to go first.
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. I feel you. Well, you know, and the two people I listen to when it comes to college football is you and my brother. My brother seems to think that it's going to be Oregon winning it all. So, you know, he thinks the number one team is going to win out. So, you know, that's
the only unblemished team. So
yeah. Well,
Dylan Gabriel's looking really darn good, and they got good.
Small Time Republics is series this morning. The best 68 don't make the March Madness field, so we've got to accept the college football playoff will be the same. Huh? Okay, I don't understand what that means, but I'm sure he'll explain it.
That's a basketball.
Is it a basketball thing? Yeah. Okay.
Well, the problem with that is that they play every other night, so
right.
You can't do a best 68 in college football. It'd be impossible. Unless they did flag football.
Well, we've been talking about it, and I tell you, thanks for that, Knock. I appreciate it. I'm glad they've got a 12-team playoff. Yeah, the teams in the first round, the lower teams didn't bust through. None of them did, but I'm still glad they're doing it. I just wish they'd play those on a neutral field. I want to see that taken out of it. They've got so many bowl games. Why not use some of these lower bowl games to, you know, I mean, even if you shuffle them through every year, have them be different ones. I understand we're going to use the Orange Bowl and the Rose Bowl for the bigger games. I understand that, but why not have a ReliaQuest Bowl be one of the lower ones, or the Independence Bowl, you know, stuff like that. Why not do that and play them on a neutral field? I think that home field advantage for that first bunch, you can't tell me it didn't play into it a lot. So
and if anyone should be getting first, you know, a home field advantage, it should be the ones that got the bye week. You know, it shouldn't be the non, you know, conference winners or the lowest conference winner getting it. How is that a reward? I feel like the biggest loser of this, like, so far has been Oregon. You know, they outside of getting a bye week, which great, that means you have gone a month without playing almost. You know, what do you do? You know, I kind of honestly, it kind of sucks, but I actually want to get rid of Army Navy week, move it to some other time, because it gives them 2 weeks off. For no reason, and even the teams that didn't get a bye, get a bye. Yeah, like you get a bye anyways. So I think they need to move that either before conference championship week, or something. Like it just, I don't get it. So I don't like how much time is taken out, especially when you didn't earn the bye. You still get a bye. You just don't get an extra bye.
Small Time Republic says, I don't think Boise State, SMU, or Indiana would beat a 9-3 SEC team. Head-to-head is what I'm getting at. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, maybe I don't know.
Then make an SEC championship.
Right. Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is, maybe you know, certain conferences have a little bit higher level than others, but you always hear about those. What was it? Knock on open, and it happens a lot on opening day, when one of these lower schools gets paid to come to a bigger school to get beat up, and they end up getting beat by them. What was it? Appalachian State did that one year to somebody, and
I don't think you should take out the Cinderellas. I think that's wrong, just because, you know, they might do better. But I mean, hey, you know, again, especially when we get down to the more open field, hey, maybe not lose 24-3 to Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
There's when you expand the field, you get less excuses.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You can't blame the teams that beat their teams. That the only team that Boise State lost to was Oregon.
Right. And Matt says it is subjective, of course. I always celebrate when Bama is denied. That's who you're talking about getting beat by a bad SEC team. You're supposed to. They should have dominated that. Bama, you can look straight to that game right there. You should have crushed my sad sack Sooners this year.
And all those three lost SEC teams lost to bad teams. You know, none. They weren't all three good losses. There was at least one, maybe in some cases two bad losses in there. So
yeah,
I mean, in one of the South Carolina ones, I don't think they scored any points in their game. Was that Missouri? I think that beat them up. It was yeah. So I mean.
It's funny we're talking about strength of schedule because my team is probably not going to make the playoffs because of something called strength of victory, and we'll talk about that later on too.
By the way, I got the photo here of the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
I dig this so much. This is so cool.
That is badass, man.
This is so cool. I saw a replay of one of the touchdowns, and I saw the car end zone. I didn't see the other end zone with the Snoop Dogg, but I saw this one with the Cadillac, and I was like,
that is kick ass, man.
I wonder how much it costs to sponsor a bowl.
Oh, it's a good bit of money. It's a good bit of money. They pay good money for that. I'd have to
there's even gin and juice in here. There's definitely sponsors that helped out.
It's not as much as putting your name on a stadium or something like that, but it's a good bit of money. I would say it's close to $1 million for a lot of them, even the smaller ones. I would think.
Million? No, it's probably tens of millions.
You think?
Yeah.
No. Well, I'll tell you what. You guys research that while we start talking about the NFL games here in a minute. But so when does the second round start? I didn't see the dates there. When is the second round of the playoff? What?
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, cool. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That's right. Isn't it like one game on New Year's Eve and then like 3 games New Year's Day? Isn't that it? Yeah. Okay. All right, boys and girls. Boise State and Penn State's going to kick it off New Year's Eve, right? Yeah. Looking forward to it. I'm glad they're doing a 12-team playoff. I think that's cool as hell. So, I know you don't want to see your Broncos go first, but, hey, they can do it. I've seen them do it. They've beaten better teams than them before. One of the greatest bowl games in history was Fiesta Bowl around the turn of the century. Don't forget about that one. All right. So, it's time for the NFL, boys and girls. And we have got a bunch of games to talk about before we even talk about today's slate of games. I completely forgot what time of year it was, and we didn't even talk about some of these games last week. But let's get into it. The first one we got to talk about today is the one that sealed home field advantage throughout the playoffs for the Kansas City Chiefs, which actually bodes well for a certain Bronco team that played yesterday. Kansas City Chiefs beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-10. That Kansas City defense reduced Russell Wilson back to Bronco-style football, throwing interceptions like a madman. That one he threw in the end zone was just unforgivable. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He just threw it right in the middle of 3 white jerseys. I don't know what the hell he was doing, man. That was crazy. But the Chiefs went into Pittsburgh and took care of business. They have earned the right to sit all their players. And what do you think? Are they going to play a series maybe to open the game, or do you think they're just going to sit everybody? What do you think?
I think they're going to sit people. They wouldn't play them all.
Do what, Knock? What'd you say?
I don't think they would play anyone like that. I think they're going to sit them. If they are going to sit them, they sit them the whole game.
Yeah, they're not even going to dress out. They're not even going to be active.
Yeah, my dad for some reason thinks that Patrick Mahomes is going to play. I'm like, Dad, he's been nursing an ankle, according to everybody, all year long. I said, if I was Andy Reid, I wouldn't let that guy see his helmet on next Sunday. I mean, come on.
Literally nothing to gain.
Yes.
And you'll probably have to hide it from him.
I mean, okay, you know what? Let's take that back. Are there any incentives that some players need to meet? because we do know that like Brady would get Gronk a couple more catches to get $1 million, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
are there any incentive-based contracts out there? That would probably be the one reason why they would do it. Like, is Juju Smith need 2 more catches to get $500,000, like something like that? I don't know. So that would be the reason.
Yeah, I hear you. Real quick before we get going here, Keely Chow says, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan pays a lot of money to have AEW be a sponsor for the Gator Bowl. The AEW Tax Slayer Gator Bowl has a nice ring to it.
Speaking of which, I saw the commercial for Raw being on Netflix now. So
Yes, that starts
for you wrestler fans.
in January. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The Snoop Dogg Bowl. The actual amount wasn't disclosed, but it's mid to high 7 figures. So
Yeah,
it's,
wow.
it's less than 10 million.
Okay, it's less than 10. So
So
it's in
if I
between
win the
what we were
lottery-
talking. Yeah,
If
gotcha.
I win the lottery,
Okay.
I'm sponsoring a bowl game.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, not joking. What would you name it, John?
What would you name it?
The Dust
What
Wolfen
would-
Bowl.
The Das Wolfen Bowl.
Ah, okay, all right.
Let's see. Small Time Republic says if the Chiefs were 16-0, their stars would play. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And
You
he
suck
says,
at
dang,
autocorrecting."
autocorrect will not let me type word. Okay. So
Little
yeah,
early to be
I think they're
drinking
going to
there.
set everybody. Pittsburgh is on a downslide. Russell had a little resurgence there, but everybody's hip to him. They're limiting his ability to escape the pocket and stuff. And
It's
he's
going to
having
be interesting to see what they do next week. Because they could still fall at least to 6th seed if they lose next week, and the Chargers can go up to 5th seed.
Right.
So it's interesting to see how much if they're losing by a lot at halftime, and they're playing the Bengals, right?
Yep.
So do they want to play to keep the Bengals out of it,
Right.
or do they rest their starters and take 6th place at the lowest? That's going to be an interesting question next week. What they're going to do? I'm sure they're going to play to win
Yeah.
because it's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, you also got to look at whether or not the Chargers are playing. Well, they are ahead of them right now. We'll look at the standings here in a minute, but they are ahead of them right now, right?
Are they? No, I think
they're
the Steelers are still 5th seed.
That's what I'm saying. They're the 5th seed, and
But if they lose next week and the Chargers win, then
Yeah.
they would be below
right,
them.
that could flip. But what I'm saying is, we'd have to look at the schedule and see which team's playing first. They
True.
may already know the result.
true.
You know, so.
Chargers are playing. We don't have this. Everything's to be determined.
It's still
They're gonna
flexed
flex
right now,
everything.
so
Yeah, everything's being flexed. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
they don't want to
man.
schedule shit until next week. 'Cause
Right.
They want to,
But
It's
the
crazy.
Chargers are playing the Raiders.
But anyway, good for the Chiefs. They got home field advantage
Yep.
again. Gonna have to go into Arrowhead and win. And there's some teams in the AFC that can do it. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs don't want to see the Bills or the Bengals right now.
yeah. If we make the
Um,
playoffs, they're playing the Bills in the first round. It's gonna be great.
Bengals will not worry about it. It's the Bills that.
Yeah,
is
the
the
Bills
problem.
are strong right now, man. They're that guy's playing. He's acting like he's on a mission. But anyway, good for the Chiefs. They held serve the way they're supposed to do. This game, wow, how far have the Texans fallen? They mustered 2 points. They mustered a friggin' safety because their punter's really good. I just wow. What is going on with the Texans? Now the 49ers at least have been competitive with all their injuries, woes. This team's got injuries, no doubt, but 2 points. What do you guys think? John, do you think CJ Stroud is having a sophomore slump? Is that what's going on here? I'm tending to think that myself.
Yeah, he fought it as well as he could, but he's been inconsistent all year.
Yeah, it's it's funny. They were on a roll when they were healthy. Soon as Nico Collins went down, that's when the downslide started, right? And now Nico Collins is the only guy standing. Everybody else is down now.
Yeah, they lost everybody else,
So I don't know. He looks a little iffy to me. But Knock, what do you think? The Ravens did what they do. They ran all over them, and but What do you think of CJ Stroud's woes, Knock, from watching?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I feel like they should be doing better on offense, especially because just you're always the one talking up Joe Mixon, and
Yeah,
barely
and
hear from him.
he's getting numbers. I mean, I'm sure anybody in fantasy enjoys the yards, but they're just not punching it in the red zone.
He didn't get any yards this game.
Yeah, they shut him down. They made
He
it
got
their mission
32
in
yards.
life to put it on friggin' CJ Stroud, no doubt. But go ahead, Knock. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like this offense just isn't humming as it should, and so that's really. And then of course all their wide receivers are, dead.
Yeah.
That's a little harsh, but I mean it's just like they're just all not there, and so he has one guy. So you take away that one guy.
He's going to be double or triple covered the whole time.
Yeah,
so.
I'm sure they're all over Nico Collins, right?
Oh, they were.
Let's see.
So, I don't know. I don't know how they. I don't know. Their defense isn't good enough to stop teams by themselves. So it's going to be interesting to see what.
Matt's got a good point here. The league had the offseason to study Stroud. Yeah, no doubt. But we'll see what happens. But man,
but
it's
he's
a bad
some bonehead throws, though. I mean,
yeah, he is.
It's not even like it's really pressure or anything. It's just bad decision making.
Yeah,
like
that's definitely
throws,
part
like
of it.
he's like, there's a guy right there in front. Why are you throwing to him? Like he's clearly there. You need like neon lights to showcase him for you. Like we only see that on replays. You don't get that advantage on the field. So I mean, what are we doing out here?
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys that first and second year guys, they're always looking for the home run when it's amazing what happens when you just dump it down. Guys, let the athletes do their athletic thing. You know what I'm saying? Just look at the Chiefs, man. Most of their throws are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they just gut teams. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's yak. Yak is our bread and butter.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, some teams can do that.
You can't look at the Chiefs for anything because what they do is unrealistic. You're not going to. There's never an instance where you're going to throw to a guy who's facing away from you on the fucking ground and he still catches it. Like, no. This stuff doesn't happen, okay, to normal teams. All right? Nobody does this. Nobody thinks to throw to the guy that's literally laying on the ground, looking away from you, and he still catches the ball. Like, it's ridiculous what they do.
Are you subscribing to the they're doing witchcraft out there thing?
Absolutely. There's some incense on that field.
They have sold their souls to the devil.
I don't know, but that shot that I saw from the back end zone that shows him on the ground looking toward the running back looking towards Samaje Perine, and then the ball is flicked in the air already, and he's not even turned around yet. Is beyond ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that was the Christmas Day fair, boys and girls. And then my team came out and subjected you to some of the worst football you've ever seen in your life. Oh, my God.
I thought the Colts-Broncos game a few years ago was the most hurtful thing I'd ever seen. I didn't even try to watch this game.
You shouldn't have. I watched it.
I went to bed. I wasn't even going to try it.
It was painful, man. Kudos to my defense. Because Caleb Williams was playing well. He was complete balls. They were tearing it up between the 20s, but he just couldn't cash in on any of it. And, they've got an interim coaching staff, and they went for it a few times when they shouldn't have. They should have just put the points up. And, yeah, this was horrible. It was in the rain. And I love you, Gino. I'm glad you had your renaissance and everything, but the renaissance is over. He is crashing fast. You want to talk about, we were just talking about the league catching up with CJ Stroud. Well, they've caught up with Geno, and it's not pretty. Walker is gone for the season, so we're done. You were telling me yesterday about the strength of victory thing, which will probably get the Rams the division today by the end of the day, which will make our game against them next week a moot point since the Rams won last night. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I'm glad of that because I would rather we be out than have to go on the road to Atlanta or Tampa Bay and get smoked because that this is my team is a bad team right now. They are. They're beat up offensively. I mean, they can do things on offense, but they're beat up offensively. Lockett's out for the season too. That's two big components that are gone. It's been all Smith and Jigba, and they're catching up to that. They're double teaming DK Metcalf, so he never can get a ball. So it's just horrible, man. Right now, Charbonnet, look, he's great, but he's the Pollard of my football team, if you understand what I'm saying. If you put him in the starting lineup, you saw what happened in Chicago. They shut him down. He really didn't have any big runs.
He did pretty good the week before.
He did good the week before, but Chicago, you can say what you want about Chicago. They have a good defense. Their defense is pretty good. And they took care of business against us. I mean, we eked out a 6-3 baseball game victory, but I kind of hope we get knocked out of the playoffs, and let's rest some guys and get ready for next year, because it's been bad, and we've got to address the quarterback position in the offseason. That's just all there is to it. I love you, Gino. I'm glad for what you did and everything when we lost Russ, but that shit is over. I'm sure that Mike McDonald's going to get a quarterback in the offseason that'll fit what he wants to do. You got to remember, he inherited this team. Okay, so the defense has been playing well, but man, the offense, we got to do something different.
Well, the Bears would have took the points instead of going for it, like they're Dan Campbell or something.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
They would have won.
Yeah, they would have easily. Yeah, they'd. I think I counted at least 2 instances where they could have got 3 points and they didn't take them. So yeah,
it would have been 9-6.
Of course, you guys know how I am about analytics and all that bullshit. Yeah. Just take the points. It's ridiculous. Let's keep going here. Probably just as big a stinker, but let's see, where is it? Yeah, here it is. Just as big a stinker was this one. New England, at least I got to watch Drake May play, but when he got knocked out in the first quarter, I wanted to just, get on a plane to New England and knock him out myself for being so fucking stupid. If you saw the play that he almost got concussed on, he got knocked out for an entire drive. They had to assess him for a concussion. He was tight roping the sideline trying to get a first down with 3 Chargers bearing down on him. And you're not fucking Josh Allen, bro. Your team needs you. This is the thing that fucks me up about young quarterbacks, dude. They don't understand how valuable they are to their team. If you're on the bench, you cannot help your team. So remember that when you put yourself in harm's way like that, man. It's ridiculous. But New England, they're just a bad football team. These guys are all playing for their jobs next year. One thing's for sure, though, they've got the quarterback if they can coach him up and teach him to quit making stupid mistakes, because he does do a good job with the football. He does.
Yeah, he's got flashes of being really good. It's just
he's done something that the other rookies haven't done this year. He's got 8 straight games with a touchdown pass. So hey, New England's got the quarterback at least. Now they've got to fix all the rest of it.
He isn't Josh Allen tough, but he is tough because he came back after that hit.
He did, and he took a beating the whole day. They were all over him all day, it got out of hand in the third quarter.
I thought this was America. I thought it was America. Let's go. I thought this was America.
But this one was horrible. There's no reason to talk about this game too much. I mean, the Chargers did what they were supposed to do. They played hardball football. They ran the ball down their throat, and I think he completed 8 passes in the first half, and that was it. I mean, it's they're playing hardball football. It's all defense and running the game, which I like. That's the brand of football I dig. That's my kind of thing. But they did what they were supposed to do. They went in New England and held serve. Okay, so yesterday's game started that way, but then the best game of the day, and I'm sure this drove him crazy this whole game. But yeah, the Bengals win in overtime. That thing went back and forth so many times in the fourth quarter, it wasn't even funny. Um, you know, what can you say, man? Joe Burrow is probably the best quarterback in the NFL right now, other than maybe Josh Allen because of the skill set he's got
I'm
and
so
what he can
mad
do.
on how shitty our schedule has been at the end of the year, and all the
Yeah,
other teams are
yeah.
playing fucking pussy teams. We
You
get
are
the
playing
desperate teams.
murderer's row when it comes to quarterbacks. Yes, no doubt.
Ridiculous. If it wasn't for the Chiefs winning on Christmas Day, we would be facing another team that needs to win. So it's
Yeah,
just ridiculous.
yeah. Well, hey, be glad the Chiefs won, got home field
I'm
advantage,
not
man.
glad. I'm not glad because this isn't good for us. To go into the playoffs with a cheap win is I don't want to dilute our other wins too much, but it's not how I wanted to get into the playoffs.
Yeah,
You want to earn your way into the playoffs, and getting it because of of another team not giving it their all just
right.
sucks. And if we lose that week, then God forbid the other teams lose and we still make it in.
hmm
That's the worst way to get in.
Yeah, yeah. Backpedaling into the playoffs isn't the way to go.
Yeah.
You want to be peaking at the right time, and yeah, it's just. But look, uh, one thing you got. The good thing about it is, though, you're not playing slouches down the stretch here. You played a San Diego team that is on the rise. They're peaking at the right time. And then the Bengals are fighting for their playoff life, and they've got, like I said, probably the best pocket quarterback in the NFL. Um,
Yeah, but you get him out of the pocket though.
yeah, you get him out. I understand. I know. But,
Turnstile.
you got, the turnstiles. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, too. That front line, man. That's what makes it more amazing what Joe Burrow does. I mean, because he is literally sidestepping for his life in that pocket every time he drops back. I don't know if you guys watch the Bengals much, but before he throws a football, he's either darting to the left, right, or forward before he has to set his feet every fucking time. It's ridiculous,
Yep.
man. The kid is really talented. I dig Joe Burrow a lot. I think he's great. But anyway, the Broncos will have a game against the Chiefs next week. But this game was the best game of the day, though. Wouldn't you agree, guys? I mean, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Look, man, as much as you gripe about it, Bo Nix is playing some damn good football. That fucking touchdown pass to get him in overtime was awesome. I was just amazing.
Yeah, I still think
like,
we should have
wow.
went for two.
Yeah. We discussed that at the time. I could understand them going for two at that
Bo
point.
Nix wanted to.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you want to go to overtime
I
with
think
it?
they were going to, but wasn't there I think it was an injury or something happened where there was an extended timeout. And when they came back, they kicked the extra point. I think they were actually thinking about it at that point.
Well, Bo Nix was calling for it. I don't know if Sean Payton ever was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
All
I know is, man, those two touchdown passes that got him, that tied it both times.
But why does it have to? Why did they have to wait till the fourth quarter to do that? That's what I don't care for. I get it. He's trying not to make mistakes during the game to cause his team, but waiting till the fourth quarter to start making big plays is ridiculous. You should be doing that all game. If anything.
I feel you.
To finally throw it down the field because we got guys that can run. Mims is pretty cool. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
When you let him go. I don't care for the guy that they brought from Oregon. They brought him specifically for Bo Nix, Franklin. He hasn't done shit for us. The ball's always out of reach for him. He can never make any good catches.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Vele or Mims on that route. Because then we couldn't get one first down in overtime. Like even if we had ran the clock,
what a shame that was.
You couldn't get one first down, and it's like, come on, dude. We keep going for little throws. 5 yard, 3rd and 9. You go for a 5-yard toss, and it's like, what are we doing, man? We can't sustain. There's no consistency with this. That's why I hate this offense because there's no consistency with it. Sometimes we look like world beaters, and we were that one drive where we scored a touchdown and looked really good. We were jamming the ball down their throats, and they could stop 10-yard runs every single time with McLaughlin.
Yeah, but all of a sudden in overtime couldn't do it. Yeah,
couldn't get a damn yard.
Yeah,
like,
it was a shame.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's bad. But Hey, like I said, you probably pretty much bank on getting in because the Chiefs got home field advantage, and that's your opponent last week.
We
So
we should have had it 2 weeks in a row, and we couldn't do it. So at this point, it's
yeah, you sound like me talking about the Seahawks. I was,
until the clock hits zero and we have a win. I'm just not going to believe it.
yeah, because you're probably going to end up in Buffalo in the first round.
Yeah, right. And I don't mind that, but at least we
Yikes.
make the playoffs. But
Yeah,
this skirting with it shit is
yeah.
it's
Hmm.
nerve wracking. It's annoying. And why do we have to keep playing in prime time and losing? It's
Right. I
ridiculous.
got you. Well, the last game, this was my division right here. The Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. The game was better than the score indicates, but I tell you, what's funny is that 9 points that the Cardinals had. They actually had a touchdown, but they blew the extra point. That's what happens to football teams that have losing records, though. That's just the way the ball bounces for them. But yeah, that was a good game. Matthew Stafford. The Cardinals defense is better than advertised, man. They were smacking guys around, knocking them off their routes, because they have a very finesse offense. They don't punch you in the mouth too much. But yeah, the Cardinals aren't scared of them. They were knocking them around the field. But, the Rams, to their credit, they piled up enough points. They kicked 3 field goals, or excuse me, 2 field goals. And they piled up enough points to win this one. And they get to go play us next week, probably for nothing. They'll probably be resting people next week because I don't think they can improve themselves at all. They'll be the division winner of the worst division champ in the NFC, so they won't be able to improve their status at all. They'll probably rest everybody. But
I think another division has a hold on that title.
oh, that's right. The South may
Yeah.
have that. Yes, that's right. I
The
forgot the
Falcons are
Rams
leading
did
right
hit
now.
10 wins yesterday, so
Yeah.
we're out of the cellar. Yeah, okay, I forgot about that.
They're lucky if they reach 8.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, once again, I don't think they can improve their status. They'll be the 3rd seed, but I don't think they can improve it because the two teams, the Eagles and either Minnesota or Detroit, they're well ahead of the Rams, so they won't be able to catch them. So they'll be 3. But anyway, it was good to see Matthew Stafford play again. I enjoy watching him. It's well documented. I'm a huge fan of that guy. I just hate that he plays for the Rams now. But hey, it was good to watch, and I have to give it to Kyler Murray. He's making better decisions now. He's a better quarterback. He really is. But go ahead.
I like that run that Stafford did. It's like he starts out, he's like in his youth, and he realizes, no, wait, I'm 36.
Yeah, these slides. Yeah, he thought he was going to make it, and then he saw that guy coming. He said, "Nah, wait a minute, let me get down." Learn that now, young bucks. That's a smart play by a quarterback. But yeah, I think the announcer said he outslowed him to the first down. That was pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, kudos to Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Good stuff. Oh, way to make it bounce back because everybody wrote them off at 0-3 with all the injuries they had, and they have battled back. And it looks like they're going to win the division. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Love it. Okay, so we got to get into today's games, boys and girls. And we start with a stinker. Ugh. Good Lord. Really? Anthony Richardson's out, so the Flacco Sans is stepping off the bench today. Is that what I heard?
Yep.
Oh, man. Is it Tommy DeVito this week for these guys? The battle of the backups in New York.
Yeah. The Richardson has back issues and a foot issue, and they set him out this time.
This one really, I mean, the Colts are mathematically still in it. Everybody else would have to collapse pretty much, but they're mathematically not eliminated yet. So I'm sure they're going to be trying to win this one for sure. And I think they will. The Giants I'm not saying they're tanking, but, they look like they're going to be number one on the clock, right, at the end of the season. So, yeah, I got the Colts in this one. John, who you got? Dice Cam or yet?
I got
or
the Colts. I got the
you
Colts.
got the Colts? Yeah, okay.
Even
Knock,
with
who
Joe
you got in this one?
Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco for sure. Even a bad Joe Flacco should be able to beat this Giants team. But the Giants, that's another team like the Bears that has a good defense, man. That they're pretty good on defense. You never know. But Knock, what do you think of this one?
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping the Giants will go, but I think the Colts got it.
Yeah.
You still got Jonathan Taylor. Just ride him to a win.
Yeah, just ride him. Yeah, for sure. Okay, next up, who we got? Oh boy. Really? The Buffalo Bills are hosting the Jets? Oh my God. All right. Yeah, Bills. Who you got, John?
Yeah, Bills. Yeah. I would laugh my ass off.
Ass off, yes.
If suddenly, Aaron Rodgers shows up and he's 25-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Right. That would be awesome.
You throw into 25-year-old Devontae Adams and just wreck the Bills. I would laugh so hard.
I'll tell you this much. I'll be impressed if I don't see a defensive end for the Jets, roll to the inside instead of staying outside of Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
I'll be impressed if I see just that one thing in this game, because I get so tired of watching defensive ends try and take an inside route, trying to get to Josh Allen, he just hauls ass right past them every time.
Go outside, guys. Come on.
Yeah, you got to
watch tape.
They were talking earlier. How do you stop a running quarterback? Well, you build a well, is what they say. You build a well, and you have the two defensive tackles come straight up the field, and then you have the outside guys not get past and stay to the outside. That's what you've got to do, and teams just can't do it against this guy. They just can't sustain it. They used to do it against Michael Vick. Teams that play well, the Tampa 2 was developed just to stop Michael Vick. If you know this, guys, it was something that Tony Dungy developed. And what's our guy's name? The coach everybody hires when they're fixing to fire everybody.
Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith, yeah. Those two developed this defense just to stop Michael Vick, and it starts at that front line. You have to keep these guys in the pocket. You have to keep them there, and teams just can't get that concept against this team. I just don't get it.
Tampa 2 is supposed to be in everybody's playbook, though. I mean, it generally is.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Monty Kiffin. That's right. The late great Monty Kiffin was on that staff too. He developed it too. But it was all to stop one guy that was killing the league at that time. A guy that they had to play twice a year, named Michael Vick. Yeah, no doubt. That's what that was developed for.
And then he sabotaged his career, and
then he came back, and then got a big contract, and now he's coach.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, Doc, what do you think? Can the Jets do that? Contain this guy? Can they do it?
Not in Buffalo, no.
No, not in Buffalo. I'm with you. Yeah, that's a tall order for anybody. I don't think they can do it either.
If the Jets get double-digit score, I'll be impressed.
Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to admit that Devontae Adams and Aaron are clicking a little bit more these days. They are getting some good yardage.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the type it's going to take to stop Cook and Allen, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, then we've got the Titans versus the Jaguars. Two teams that are both in sore need of changes. Now, you all know what I think of Tennessee. They're retarded. I don't know what their GM's doing. They've gutted that football team from the head coach down. I don't know what the hell they're doing. And he's preparing for Dice Cam, folks. Get ready. Dice Cam's coming. I can feel it already. You want to go ahead and do it now? Go ahead, John. Go ahead. It's Dice Cam time.
There's the dice.
Still don't have that camera set up.
No, I don't. It's sitting over here. I don't
Weeks,
have. I haven't got it attached
and
to
weeks we've been waiting.
I haven't
Still
got it
hasn't been
attached
done.
securely to the gooseneck thing. So
Yeah,
I'll do it before next week.
Good use of your time off there, sir.
So 1-3 Titans, 4-6 Titans.
Titans. Will Levis going to get a win versus his hated rival, the Jaguars. Both of these teams are in disarray. Pretty sure that the head coach for the Jaguars, Peterson's probably going to lose his job in the offseason.
Oh, guaranteed. He's one of the ones that's gone. Like Peterson's gone.
The head coach of the Titans, I don't know that he's gone because it's only been 1 year. So
no, he gets a
pass because he pretty much inherited this mess. So we'll see what they do in the offseason. But they definitely got to make a change at quarterback. Yeah, I would think. But man, the Jaguars, even with a better coach, I don't know what they can do with this football team, man. It's look. Organizations are built from the top down, and let's face it, the top of these two teams don't know what they're doing. They just are clueless. They don't know what they're doing. Both of them need to hire GMs that are worth a shit for their football operations. That's what they need to do.
They both need to clean house.
John has already used the dice cam. He says it's Titans. What do you think, Knock? Jaguars eke one out with Mac Jones?
No, I'm never going for the Jags again.
Titans, okay. Just to have fun, I'm going to take the Jaguars. I'm going to take Mac Jones and the Jaguars. Sure, why not? just to start conversation next week. Sure, why not? Okay, let's see. Next one we've got. Oh boy, we had somebody in the chat say "Go Raiders" earlier today. Who was it that said that? Yeah, it's Lord Toth. He said, "Go Raiders," and he's laughing about it. Oh, man. Somebody's got to win this football game. We may have more than one dice cam in this show. But I'm pretty sure that the Saints are starting Spencer Rattler. Pretty sure. They started him last time. And he shows flashes, but, he's young. He doesn't have enough playing time yet. We'll see what happens. They need to lean on Alvin Kamara, I think. If they want to win this game.
Playing? Pretty sure
he might be out.
I'm pretty sure he's done for the year.
Yeah. We know that the Swiss Army knife has been gone for a few weeks now. Taysom Hill, he wrecked his knee. On the other side, what is the kid's name that's playing for the Raiders at quarterback?
Yeah, Kamara's out.
Yeah, Kamara's out?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the kid's name that's slinging a rock for the Raiders?
O'Connell.
Yeah, I mean, this is... this is of course, it's two teams on the losing end of the spectrum, and if I had to go with either team, it'd be the Saints, just because they seem to be playing really hard for the interim head coach there. These guys obviously love Rizzo, and so I'd say just
played really hard. Didn't they score 0 points a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
Right.
Sure, you try to convince me of playing hard. Yeah, okay, Joe.
Okay, I see them every week, and I'm telling you,
okay, buddy.
Okay, all right.
You're not going to convince me.
You heard it from Knock. Really I am full of shit, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think you're hyping up a little too much a shitty team. That's all.
Okay. Well, anyway, the Saints, I think, will win this game. What do you guys think? Knock?
I mean, I don't really care either way, but I'm going Raiders.
Going Raiders. Okay. John?
The only Raider that matters is no longer playing.
Yep.
So I'm going Saints.
Max Crosby. Yep. The Raider is not playing. For sure.
I'll go with the quarterback. I'll go with the quarterback that's played more. And the defense is still better than the Saints defense. So
there you go.
Without Crosby.
I got you. Okay. Cool. We'll see. Next up, we got the Panthers, who...
Trap game.
Right? Trap game. I would not be surprised. Would not be surprised if they jumped up and bit the Buccaneers.
They did it last year.
Yeah. And, it's a division game. You know what we always say? Throw out the records kind of thing. And you got to give it to Bryce Young. He has not crumbled under the pressure of, bad performance after he was out for a bit. He's come back and he's playing better. The Panthers are in every game now. They're. I mean, who was it they played? Was it Buffalo they played and almost kept up with?
The Chiefs. The Chiefs.
The Chiefs even. Yeah, the Chiefs had a
Yeah.
hard time with them. Yeah. So yes, absolutely. I hear you on the trap game thing. Now, I watched the last time I watched the Buccaneers play, I felt so bad for fucking Baker Mayfield. I felt so bad for him. So many balls are going off guys' hands and going to the other team. It's not even funny. I just, he's got a look on his face after half of these things. The last game, what was it? They got the ball. They had a chance to. All they had to do was get in field goal range. What were they down by 1 or something? And the very first pass, that guy gives it up to the defender
Yep.
on the catch, and it's intercepted. And I'm like, dude, and he's standing there with a look on his face like, what the fuck do I have to do? You know?
Yeah, so they took KC 30-27. They lost to Tampa Bay the first time in overtime, 26-23.
Right.
And then they lost to Philly 22-16.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they beat Arizona.
That was the other team I was thinking of. Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Man.
So, I mean, watch out for these guys. The only team that beat them up in the last month and a half has been the Cowboys. That's about
the
it.
Cowboys fucking put it on them last week. It was just
The week before.
Cooper Rush's Super Bowl, man.
Panthers beat Cardinals last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In overtime.
So there you go, man. And
Buccaneers should have wrapped this up last week, and they lost. So.
I'm picking the Buccaneers because I believe in my boy Baker, but I completely understand where you're coming from, Knock. That could definitely happen, no doubt.
I mean, look at
about
those stats. I mean, 31st.
It's horrible.
31st. And yet, I mean, I think most of that's from earlier this year where they were just getting destroyed.
Getting hammered. Yeah.
So there's definitely an improvement, and that's when Young came back in, and yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good momentum going into next year. So
yes, it is absolutely.
Get them some players. Get McCaffrey back or something. I don't know. Get them some players.
Mm-hmm.
And, something.
Absolutely. Oh, look who finally showed up. He's probably working if I know him. But the mascot of the show is here. He just...
There are some who call me Tim.
Hail, Tim. Good to see you. He says, nope, I have the day off. Been cleaning around the house.
Ooh.
Getting things done, are you, man? Very cool. Very cool.
So you should have been here
it's
an hour
understandable
ago.
because there's not many games that matter this week. So go ahead, Knock. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying. So he should have been here an hour ago. Got it.
Yeah, should have been here an hour ago. Yeah, put down the broom.
Okay.
Get your ass in
What's
here.
wrong with you?
What the hell are you doing, son? You're late. Anyway. But yeah, getting back to this, I'm picking the Buccaneers, but it would not shock me at all to see Bryce Young and them boys jump up and bite these guys. And they're trending in the direction you want to go for next season, right, Knock? I mean, this is a team you're going to have to watch out for next year. They add some pieces for that kid. They could definitely make some noise. This division's anybody's. Penix is just getting started. We're going to be interesting to see how he does today. And yeah, this could be. Look, this division right here, they usually don't have repeat division champs ever. It's always somebody different. So it wouldn't. First of all, it wouldn't surprise me if the Falcons won out and won this division at all. And the Buccaneers, they're fighting for the playoff lives now. They, much like the Broncos, they should have won these games that they're losing, and they should be in already, right? So. Yeah, I'm picking the Broncos, or excuse me, the Buccaneers. John, who you got in this
one? I was going to say the Buccaneers, but I'm sitting here going, I think Bryce Young's going to...
It's got trap game written all over it. Knock was absolutely correct.
Upset alert?
Yeah.
I think Bryce Young's going to hang at least 3 touchdowns on him. So, yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm
and
going
Knock,
Panthers.
I assume you're leaning towards the Panthers in this one.
No, I'm picking the Bucs as well, but I'm rooting for the Panthers.
Yeah, right.
I enjoy, especially after college, I enjoy any and all upsets.
Yes, yes. I think we all root for underdogs in games where we don't have a dog in the hunt. But I got the Baker Mayfield dog in this one, so I'm rooting for him. This game today, the Dallas Cowboys, who surprisingly have played some decent football in the last couple of weeks, are facing what many consider to be the toughest team in the NFC right now, with the Lions take a little dip on number of players they have on their roster. Really,
Well, I mean, yes, but Hertz is not playing, so
yeah,
Hurts is hurt.
Hurts
He's
is
hurt.
hurt, and it's Kenny Pickett coming out there. Kenny Pickett's
Yeah.
small hands going to be out there today against Cooper Rush, and we saw what happened last week with Kenny Pickett coming off the bench. And wasn't that the Pittsburgh game last week? Weren't they playing Pittsburgh? Isn't that who they were playing?
No,
remember.
because
They were playing the Commanders last week.
Oh, that's right. It
that
was the
that was
Command-
Jaden Daniels. Yeah, getting the
There it is.
final seconds win.
Yes,
Yeah.
there it is. Yes, yes. And so, it wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys jump up and bit them today. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Eagles are going to run the football first and foremost. Something Dallas has a problem dealing with. So, yeah, I'm taking the Eagles in this one. In the battle of the backups there in the NFC East. Knock, what do you think of this one?
What did I pick?
It's hard
Go
to
ahead to John real quick. I did pick somebody. Go to John.
Okay, it's hard to pick Pickett though. That's my problem. That's the thing. It's hard to pick that dude.
It's,
I feel like in this one you're not picking him. You're picking Saquon Barkley.
yeah,
Right,
that's-
you're picking
That's what I was
Saquon
going to say, because he's just going to hand it to Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley's going to run all over that.
Yeah, I
Cowboys
picked the
defense that can't
Okay.
stop the run.
Yeah, they can't. Their defense is definitely built to have a lead and then play against the pass. That's what the Cowboys are built for. So they're going to struggle against these guys today. John, you taking Philadelphia? I take it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got that one, and remember the Eagles are still playing for a chance at home field advantage. It's actually a 3-team race now in the NFC for home field advantage.
Yeah.
I don't think so because because the Vikings and the whatchamacallit play each other in the last week, and the Lions play each other. I don't think there's any way the Eagles can get first place at this point.
There's no way the Eagles can do
No,
it?
they're
Okay.
out. They're out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be between Lions.
They're still playing for the division, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right, because Washington beat them.
But I mean, the Eagles have the Giants next week, so I mean,
Yeah,
if
there
you're
you
telling me Saquon Barkley, I think the NFL script right now is Saquon Barkley gets Eric Dickerson's record against the Giants. I feel like the script is set for that. I think.
I don't think
know.
he's going to make it myself.
Really, I think doesn't he only need like 200 yards or something like that?
It's
Or
probably
300?
less than 300. I saw he had 1,800 yards, and it's going to take 2,100. The record is 2,109. I think you can look it up, but I think it's
All
2,109.
right, so he gets 130 yards today, and
He'll hang 200. He'll hang 200 on the Cowboys today. So
Yeah, it could be. Could be.
Yeah, 200 on
see.
each team. Crush that record. I get it.
We'll see.
The problem with today is that they're going to have to, that's going to be their only option is to load the box. So
That's the thing. They're going to dare Pickett to beat him, and it might hurt Saquon's ability to get.
I think if
enough
anything,
yards for the record.
Saquon has a chance to get more like screen yards, like pass yards.
Mhm.
yeah.
And here's the thing: with 2 games to go, if they're not going to improve, do they need to win one more game to stay ahead of their to stay in the two seed? Do they need another win for that?
No, they actually don't.
So I'm sure they want Saquon to get that record, but do you take the chance of him getting injured to try.
I think if he does a good game today,
that's the thing. Yeah.
I think if they get within 150 yards, I think he plays.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they got to get close.
That I can see. Yes.
Yeah.
It hinges on today's game. So
I feel like it does too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, do they even care today? I mean, I think honestly
God.
that
he
question,
is trying to goad you, man. Tim is trying to goad you, bro.
Yeah, he goes for a pretend team. So, anyways, there's no kangaroo teams. It's a fake.
Right.
Do the Eagles even try today? I think that's a question because they literally don't need to win today either. I mean, yes, they want to stay for the division, but
yeah, they need another win. Like you said, they need another win to.
But again, they have the Giants next week, man. So I mean, I feel like
right.
It's. I mean,
look, the Eagles Cowboys game is a huge rivalry, man. It's a huge one. So,
I guess I'm just kind of curious how they're going to do, especially like if they're down at the halftime, kind of thing. Do they just give up and start resting players? And this could be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see. Next one we got here, another team that needs a lot of help, but still not mathematically out of it. The Miami Dolphins, my wife's Miami Dolphins, are still in it, but they're Tua-less today, from what I understand. Is that correct?
Really?
Yeah, I think it was questionable whether or not he was going to play. Look it up for me real quick, and let's get an answer on that. But I think he is questionable to play today. Going into the Cleveland Browns, who is Jameis Winston playing, or is he still hurt?
It's been the other guy.
He's doubtful.
Who's doubtful?
Tua.
Yeah,
With
that's what I thought. Yeah, which means that they'd have that ex-Packer backup, I think, playing. Tyler Huntley, is that his name?
Yeah.
And then
he was downgraded to doubtful. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's doubtful, just leave him on the bench and try and win without him. But the Browns aren't much better at quarterback. I don't think Jameis Winston's playing. I think it's that kid. I can't even remember the dude's name. That was third on the depth chart for the Browns, but they've used him this year because
it's like DDP or DPD or something like that.
I can't remember his name, dude. I really.
Yeah. I think they use his initials because you got like a hyphen or something like that.
But I think the Miami Dolphins can scheme enough plays to get Tyreek Hill the football. I think they can win this one. I'm hoping, but this is one of those games where Miami should win, even if it's a backup quarterback. But the Browns, they love to spoil people's seasons and stuff. So there's no telling. I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one, though. John, who you got in this one?
I'm going to have to go with Dolphins, even though, like you said, the Browns can jump up. Browns are good at jumping up and biting people.
Yeah, they are.
But without Winston, I don't think they'll be able to do it because they don't have. Is Chubb playing?
He's out for the season.
Is he out for the season? Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
I didn't know if he was out or not. I know he got hurt, but I didn't know if he was out.
I could be wrong. I haven't followed fantasy in a couple weeks because I'm out of everything.
Right.
Yeah, I got screwed over by freaking the Colts running back and lost my championship game. So I'm out of the championship and I'm playing for third place. So I'm like,
yeah, I'm playing for third place with one of mine and I got destroyed in that one. They were winning even though we haven't even gotten to the Sunday games yet, and they're already over 100 points on me.
He's on IR, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was done for the year again.
Yeah, so definitely I'm going for Miami. If they remember that Tyreek Hill plays for them.
Right. If they remember that Tyreek Hill plays for him, at least get him at least 2 balls during the game, and maybe you might get some yards. Yeah. Knock, what do you think of this one?
I mean, obviously I'm rooting for the Browns, but they disappoint me every time. So I think that the Dolphins can win this one pretty handily.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got next here. Dude. It would not surprise me at all to see an all NFC North NFC Championship game. And the Packers be part of it. The Packers are playing the Vikings today. This is probably the best game out there today to watch. If you look at the Packers' losses, matter of fact, let me pull it up on a different tab real quick. This team, they're scary. The friggin' Green Bay Packers are a scary football team, man. And they're so young. They're going to be around for a long time.
The only reason this wasn't flex is because of the two playoff teams playing on Sunday night.
Right. The Vikings, they're hosting this one. Sam Darnold is going to get paid by either the Vikings or somebody else in the offseason. We know that. He's had a resurgence. I'm happy for that guy. It's fantastic. Doesn't hurt that he's throwing to arguably the best duo of wide receivers in the NFL right now.
Yep.
But the Green Bay Packers, man, they run the football. They friggin' throw the football. And the thing that's scariest about them, look at the fucking defensive numbers, okay? The Packers, every time they have a defense like this, they win Super Bowls, okay? If you remember when Favre was the quarterback there, they had a bunch of playoff runs, but they didn't win until they got a defense. Same thing happened for Rodgers. When they went to the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steelers couldn't score a point in that fucking game. They got destroyed, you know?
Well, the crazy thing about that one is...
championships.
Well, what's crazy about that one, and I remember that game because
Mhm.
I specifically went to, it was one time I went to Buffalo Wild Wings for it. But that team was so soundly schemed because they were beat up.
Yeah.
Like the Packers defense was beat up, but they were so good. Like it was a patchwork defense, but they worked so well together that it didn't matter.
Yep. Did not matter.
But it was a good defense. So
They were a great defense. And I tell you what, man, like I said, every time they've done it, it's been, let me see, what's their schedule?
Peyton
Well-
Manning, he finally got it with the Colts when the Colts
Yeah.
and the Colts were historically bad at running offense that year.
Yeah, they were.
But when they made it to the playoffs, nothing. They gave up nothing on the ground, and they won the Super Bowl. Defense matters, man.
Yep. Okay, let me pull this over here. I just want to show you guys this, and this is why I say the Green Bay Packers may be the most dangerous team in the NFC. Okay, they can jump up and bite anybody. They lost to the Eagles opening day, and you remember that game? I think Hurts gave it up 3 times in the first friggin' quarter.
Yeah.
Right? And they still bounce back from it, which speaks to how good the Eagles are. But that's one of their losses. Their next loss was against the Minnesota Vikings, who they face today. And it's going to be, you know how it is. It's hard to beat your division rival twice in a season. You have to be really good to do that. Yeah, huge. And then look at their next loss. It was against the Detroit Lions, okay, which, are leading their division. And then their other loss was to the Lions. They get swept by the Lions. So, they've got Minnesota and Chicago down the stretch. They're going to be a wild card team, but I don't think anybody wants to play that team in the NFC right now. I don't think anybody wants to play the Packers. And the Vikings are going to have their hands full with them today. And the Vikings have to keep winning because they have a chance to win the division, right? So,
Joe, I got a question for you, Joe.
Go.
You said so. This is in Minnesota. Do you think the weather's going to factor in here?
No. It's Green Bay. They play in weather just as bad. No,
I think. Yeah. So that was an homage to that dumb
I'm
reporter.
Playing into your joke. Yeah. It's fucking stupid, man. That reporter.
They might
so
slip
dumb.
on their way in. They might slip on the ground on the way into the stadium.
Somebody might twist an ankle on the way into the fucking stadium. Right. Oh, fucking unreal.
I'll never forget that.
Who was that?
I think
that was Todd Bowles. They were
when they were
interviewing,
gonna go
right?
there. He was like, they're in a stadium, so we don't have to worry about that.
But yeah,
man.
the Packers, playing on that fast track. Wow. The Vikings are going to have their handful. But then again, the Packers are going to have their hands full too. Both defenses are great. I tell you, the guy I love watching right now is Van Ginkel, the ex-Miami Dolphin for the Vikings. he was playing like Teddy Bruschi early on in the season, doing a lot of those fake blitzes and dropping back into zones and getting picks and stuff. It was really cool to watch, man. You can say what you want about Flores. He wasn't a great head coach down there in Miami, but you know what? That guy can run a defense, and they're going to see the blitz a lot.
He got robbed. I mean, you go
Yeah.
8-8, on
Yeah.
the upswing, and you let a guy go. That's no.
Yeah. There's a lot more to what went on down there, and I don't even want to get on that subject. We could do an hour-long show on that. But yeah, it's both parties in that thing with Flores down in Miami were wrong. Both of them were, and it's actually, for the Minnesota Vikings, it's a good thing that they let him go. You know what I'm saying? Because you see the results. He is a really good defensive mind. I think of him like I think of the head coach of the Buccaneers, Todd Bowles. He loves the blitz. He loves to put pressure on the quarterback, and he runs that kind of defense, and it's great. I love to see that. I really do. I'm when I play Madden, I'm more the conservative. Play zone between the 20s and then mix it up inside the red zone to try and fuck you up. But this guy, he loves to put the heat on a quarterback. He wants to see what you're made of. And look, Jacobs could have a huge day. Jacobs, they're going to have to lean on him. You guys used to watch him twice a year with the Raiders. This guy's tough. He can run through people. He's fun to watch. This is going to be a great game to watch. John,
Yeah.
I've taken up enough time brooding about this game. You tell me what you think of this one.
The
I'm
Packers-
taking the Packers to upset the Vikings at home today. That's what I'm taking.
The Packers are what you don't want to see at the end of the season, and that's a balanced team.
Mm-hmm.
And they are a balanced team. They're just as good on offense as they are on defense. Even their special teams is good. They're good on all three phases of football, and it's going to be hard for Darnold, being the game manager that he is. He won't turn it over, but
will he get enough yards? That's the thing with this defense. Whew.
And there's 10 other players on that field that could, be an issue. So it's not, he may play a perfect game, but it won't matter because another player could screw up. So I think that, the Packers are going to take it to the Vikings today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we all know that pressure creates diamonds, but it also bursts pipes. So
yeah.
What do you think? What diamonds are going to show up today, Knock? What do you think?
I don't know, man. If it allowed me and I'm doing it next week. I'm going for tie. I can't
Dude.
choose. I can't
could you imagine if there's a tie in this game? Good Lord.
I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this one. They're both great teams. Vikings have been, personally, I want the Vikings to win because I want the Lions and Vikings game next week to be flexed Sunday night.
Be for the division. Yes, that would be awesome.
But Joe, if they both win, it wouldn't be for the division. It would be for the number one seed.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Sure.
That's what I want. That's all. That's what I want.
If you remember right, I took the Packers to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes, you did. You picked the Packers and the Chiefs, and you said the Chiefs were going to beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. Yeah, and I've been thinking about that a lot. Every time I see the Packers win, I'm like, God damn, John knew what he was talking about with this team, dude. Because they're one of those teams that can go from the wild card spot and destroy everybody. There's one of those franchises that could do it. If there's one name that's going to pull it out for the Minnesota Vikings today, I think it's Justin Jefferson. If they get a victory, it's going to be that guy right there.
Best wide receiver in football. Right now.
He is. It's fun to see these LSU guys that I see every Saturday down here in Louisiana. Just showing up in the NFL. There's something in the water down there. You want linebackers, you go get them at Penn State. You want wide receivers, go get them at LSU, man. They seem to crank them out. Huh?
Gator pits. That's what it is.
Yeah. There you go. That's it right there. So Knox got the Vikings. I got the Packers in this one. But, man, it could go either way. But actually, Knox, that tie thing is very, very interesting. And
That
what's
would
funny
upset
I
a
is
lot of
it's
players.
more because I don't have a dice cam, But
right. You don't have a
it's
dice
ju-
cam.
it's just I don't want to pick this one. I mean, I did the Vikings. I'm going with the Vikings. They're at home.
Yeah.
I think they won 13 games. I think they beat the Packers once already. So
Hmm.
I think they can do it again. So I'm leaning the Vikings, but I think next week's going to be even harder to
Oof.
pick.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope the Vikings win, so we have that scenario right in the last week of the season. That would be fun as all get out. Okay, now we got another one with playoff implications here. The Washington Commandos actually have a chance to win this division if Philadelphia crumbles and they
It's a
win
small
out.
chance, but yeah, it's a
Small chance,
chance.
but they
You're
can do it.
saying there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance. It's a very bad chance just because of that fucking
The
Eagles Giants
Giants,
matchup
yeah.
next week.
The worst.
But anyway, we've got Michael Penix in his second start in the NFL. And I hope I get to see this one here. I really do. Against
pretty
Jaden
good.
Daniels, a couple of
He
rookie
looked pretty good
quarterbacks.
last week.
Yeah.
Huh?
Penix looked pretty good last week. He didn't do
Yeah,
much
he
for
didn't
me
get a
fantasy,
touchdown, but he was moving the ball. Yeah,
moving the ball.
for sure.
They scored, and
Mhm.
no, you don't ask him to do a lot. The defense has been doing pretty decent. Don't turn over the ball, and
Look, this team on paper was supposed to win the South in a walk this year, right? Maybe the Buccaneers would push them, but they were talking, they went and got that pass rusher. What's his name from the Patriots for their defense, and they got Kirk Cousins. The big steal in the offseason. Everybody thought they were nuts for friggin' drafting Penix after giving a boatload of cash to Kirk Cousins. Wow, do they look smart now? Don't
Well,
they?
Penix was a steal as far as he dropped.
Yeah,
because he's a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. He should have gone before Caleb Williams, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he dropped, but
well, he was still
Falcons
picking the top 10, wasn't he?
yeah, but he should have been in the top 30.
Well,
I
tell
don't know
you
about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I was fixing to say Jaden Daniels is the guy that should have gone number one. The guy playing for Washington.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
guy that should have gone number one.
Yeah.
But so glad he didn't get sent to Chicago. And I'm sure that Knock is very happy he's with the Redskins. Or I say the Redskins, the Washington Commandos football team, whatever the fuck they are this week. But, Penix, he's going to be a work in progress. And from what I saw last week, Knock's right. He was moving the ball. He didn't get any touchdowns, but he didn't give it away. So, let's see what happens today. A couple of rookie quarterbacks going at it. I'm picking the Commanders just because they need this but then again, the Falcons need this. They've got to stay ahead of the Buccaneers. This is actually playoff
they
football.
control their destiny. If they win out,
if they win out,
in.
they win the division and they are the third or fourth seed, right? Just depends on how bad they should get the third seed, I think, if they can win out.
The Rams would be.
No, that's right. The
seed.
Rams are going to be
They
the
got
third
10
seed.
wins, and the Falcons. I mean,
that's right.
I don't know if the Falcons win 2 games and the Seahawks the Seahawks win next week and the Rams go to 10. I don't know who has the tiebreaker in 10-7 if they both have 10-7 records. So the Falcons and the Rams.
Right. I don't know about that one. We'd have to see. But we know this: they have to win out because the Buccaneers are going to be right there. They're right behind them. They know that they have to stay ahead of them, so they have to keep winning. And the Commanders got to keep winning too. They want if I was the Commanders, I'd want that division. Now it doesn't look good for getting it, but you
can't stop trying.
No, you can't stop trying. That's right. I don't think they
because
will.
it's not just the division; it's the number 2 seed.
Right. It's the number 2 seed. You get a week off. You win that one, right?
No, you don't get a week off. No, only first seed. Gets
That's right. I forgot. It's a 17 playoff now.
But you play the worst seed team though.
But there you go. Yeah,
and you get home field advantage
and you get home field advantage, which I mean, Washington doesn't really mean a whole lot, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so if they got second, number 2, guess who they would play though? Green Bay.
They played who?
Green
Who?
Bay.
If Washington got
Green
second seed, they would get Green Bay as their reward. If they don't win, if they stay at 6th seed, they would get
No, Green Bay's going to
Tampa
be the
Bay.
highest seed wild card team, aren't they? If they
No, Minnesota. Like, okay, so they can be.
That's
they can
right.
Be. But Minnesota's got that 5th seed locked, and then
Yeah.
and Washington and Green Bay are tied. I think Washington would, based on what I have right now, Washington would get will have the I think better conference record.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember how stacked the NFC is on
They are.
Yeah,
on points.
I mean,
on,
that's
on
pretty top
games. Yeah.
heavy. It's already
Yeah.
locked for them. It's just the NFC South is still figuring out who the championship is in the West. So
And
other than
it's
that,
just feeding at this point to figure who's going to go where.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Well, all I know is this is going to be a fun game to watch. I want to see how these two young quarterbacks do. We know how Jaden Daniels is going to do. This guy, wow, he is doing amazing. He really is. And Penix, I saw a little bit of him last week, but I want to see the whole game tonight and before I make an evaluation on that guy. So, okay, that's that one tonight. Let's see. The last Monday night game this year is going to be, when we saw this earlier in the season, this looked like a lot better game than it's going to be.
Yeah. There's not much to say here. Lions all the way.
There isn't.
Dead man
The Lions should win, even though they've got a revolving door on defense. Just look at the defensive numbers. This is crazy. Look, I really think the leading candidate for Coach of the Year should be Dan Campbell. I really do, because of what he's done with the injuries. I mean, God, what game was it they played? Was it last week or the week before when they lost 4 people for the rest of the season, including Montgomery?
Yeah.
And they're still dominating teams. They're not winning by small margins. They're going out there.
They lost their best
teams.
defensive player halfway through the season too.
Yes, and he's about to make a comeback for the playoffs too. It sounds like. Well, actually, I think it
depends on how
Super
far they
Bowl,
make
right?
Something like that. It's either
Yeah.
championship or Super Bowl, something like that. He broke his leg. So I mean,
Yeah, Hutchinson, man, yeah, but the revolving door on defensive players, and they're still getting it done. It's just amazing. It's amazing what they're doing there. The Niners, what can you say about them? The injury bug got them this year. Should have known. McCaffrey was on the cover of the
Honestly,
magazine.
at this point, it's like they're lucky if they go a year without getting. It's like, what year aren't they hurt? Is more
Right.
The question.
Yeah.
So the injury bug got them this year. Well, it got them every year. So it's
And
like,
you're going to see Monday night that the Detroit Lions are playing smash mouth football better than the 49ers do now.
Oh, yeah.
The Niners, up until this year, wore the smash mouth team. It's the Detroit Lions now. They hit you in the mouth at every position. It's pretty amazing to watch. Okay, so we're all on the Lions for this one, I take
yeah,
it?
there's nothing. There's
Okay.
nothing else to discuss.
Punch the ticket now. Okay, so let's take a look at next week real quick. Let's see. Final week of the season finale week, 18. All the games are to be announced when they're going to be look at that. Not a one of them.
Yeah.
Now that's
They've all
crazy.
won.
Come on now.
I feel like they should put all the games that don't matter at 1:00, and then have all the
Right.
games that matter at 4:00, and then the biggest game at 8:00.
But I'm pretty sure they play all of these games on Sunday, though. I'm pretty sure. And there's no Monday night game.
Right.
Pretty sure the last week of the season we play everything on Sunday. So basically, I don't think they play any Saturday games.
They might.
They might, though.
I
I'm
think-
not quite sure.
Yeah.
That's probably why all of these are to be determined. They want to wait until this week and probably set up the Saturday schedule with some of the better games, right? To get the whole world watching, right? But you see what the slate is here, and we'll talk
And they
about
can because there's no college games on Saturday either.
right. You guys can look it up. We're not going to talk about all of these individually, but out of the mix here, depending on what happens today, the big ones are going to be
Bengals, Steelers.
That Falcons Panthers game is going to be important for the Falcons, no doubt, in their rush to try and keep the division title.
Bengals,
I would love
Steelers.
if the Panthers played spoiler in that one.
Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome? Yeah, absolutely. The Commanders Cowboys game could be good, just for seeding purposes for Washington. And look, the Cowboys, they're playing both Philly and Washington down the stretch. How funny is that? Of course,
Well, they were trying to set up a division winner takes all at the end of the season. They always try to do that.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen this year.
They missed on it though. They would have had to have got Philly and Washington against each other. I got the Broncos probably going to win that one in a walk because they're playing the backups. Lions, Minnesota, depending on how it plays out today, they could be playing for the number 1 seed. The whole ball of wax, really.
Yeah.
That could be decided right there in that football game. Yeah. Push for the Vikings tonight because that will be the last game of the season, I got a feeling. I think that, that will be in the late window on Sunday.
Sunday night game,
that will be at the 7:20 game on Sunday. Packers, Bears, that's ridiculous. A lot of these, this right here, I don't think I'm pretty sure by the end of today, this game's not going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter at all. Doesn't mean the Seahawks aren't going to try and win it just to kick them in the nuts on the way out the door, but that's not going to matter. Buffalo is going to crush New England. This one means nothing. I mean, Miami has an outside chance, but a lot of things have to fall for them. Bengals are going to be fighting for the playoff life in this one. That should be a good one. But most of these, the one to watch out of this whole schedule is that one right there. That one right there, boys and girls, is going to be. It would shock me if that's not on Sunday Night Football next week. That would really shock me. But anyway, that's what the last week of the season looks like. And now it's time for this little thing that Knock likes to play with, the playoff simulator. There we go. All right. So
I got my picks for the next 2 weeks. Obviously, some of it's dependent. I say the biggest thing is I just put a tie. I put a tie on this one, and with a tie, the Lions get. But with what we have, both teams win this week is what I picked. So it'll be winner takes all next week.
Yeah,
basically.
Yep. Okay.
So even if you put it as a tie, if they tie, the Lions take it. So, that's pretty much what I got. So got Denver going to Buffalo, Chargers going to Baltimore, and Pittsburgh going to Houston. In the AFC, and then you got Green Bay going to Philly, which should be a good game. Washington going to Tampa Bay, which should be a good game, and then Minnesota going to the Rams, which would be pretty crazy.
Well, I got to tell you, the thing that stands out to me, that Pittsburgh-Houston game, last year, after the way things ended up, that would have been a great matchup and a great game. This year, after what we've seen happen to Houston and all the injuries and all that stuff and how they've not really bounced back from them well, this game looks horrible now. It really does.
And what's interesting is it's all predicated on the Steelers beating the Bengals. So if the Bengals win, which is a good chance of that, it flips the seeds.
Yeah.
So that Pittsburgh will be going to Baltimore and the Chargers will be going to the Texans.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting bit.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So how do you guys want to do this?
Let John go first.
I can clear the board. All right.
Yeah.
So the board's cleared. Bills, Jets. You can just call them out if you see them.
Bills.
All right.
Obviously. I went with Tennessee.
Okay.
I went with the Panthers.
Panthers in that one.
You did. Okay.
Saints.
Okay.
Eagles.
Okay.
Colts.
Okay.
Miami.
Okay.
Green Bay.
Okay.
I'm going to go with I don't think I picked this one, but I'm going to go with the. I'm going to go with Michael Penix. I'm going to go Falcons.
Really? Okay.
Ooh,
cool.
Okay.
All right.
And I went Lions. Yeah.
All right. So week 18.
I'm actually going to go with the Titans because I think that Texans are too hurt right now.
Yep.
Falcons. Obviously, Tampa Bay. Sorry, it's got to be the Rams.
Yeah, it is going to be the Rams. Trust me, I know my team's done.
Obviously, it's going to be the Bills. Miami.
I am curious to see if the Bills play their players this week.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, but I think their backups could beat New England at this point.
True. I'm sorry, John.
Miami.
Okay.
We go with the Ravens. I'm actually going to go. Yeah, I got to go.
Ooh.
I got to go. Bengals.
You have to go Bengals. The way Russ is playing right now, come on.
Yeah,
man.
I want to pick the Steelers.
I know you do.
Colts.
All right.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Chargers. Washington. Eagles. Lions. Green Bay. Cardinals.
Okay. Let's look what we got.
Let's see what we got.
So you got the Pittsburgh with the Ravens, and you got Los Angeles with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this one, you got Washington as the 7th seed, and you got them going at Philly, and you have Minnesota at the Rams, and then Green Bay at the Falcons.
Oof. Falcons don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's an interesting. I like the Washington going at Philly there for a third time.
Yes, I like the Pittsburgh-Baltimore matchup as well, dude. They always throw the records out, man. Some of these division matchups in the playoffs would be fucking awesome. They really would. Yeah.
Well, that Minnesota Rams game would be good too.
Yeah, it'll be good, but look at how the Rams have been winning, though. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah. Minnesota, I think that could get ugly quick. Okay, so that's his picture. Let's take a look at mine. Go back to 17. Just leave it the way it is, and I'll tell you if you need to make any. Or did you clear it?
I already cleared it.
You cleared it, you goon. Okay.
It's not that mean
Buffalo. Jaguars. Buccaneers. Saints. Philly. Colts. Dolphins. Minnesota. Washington. Detroit. Okay. Next up.
All right.
Okay. Tennessee. I hate to say it, but Tennessee. Hate what they're doing in that fucking team. Give me the Panthers to fuck up the Falcons on the last week. There you go. Let's see. Buccaneers. Rams. Buffalo, even with the backups. Jets. Just because I know.
I actually picked the Jets in this one too.
Yeah, especially with Tua hasn't looked right. Let's see. He may have been hit too many times. No way Cleveland jumps up and bites that team. Baltimore. Bengals. Let's see. Colts. Broncos. Chargers. Washington. Let's see. Philly. Detroit Lions. Packers. And the Cardinals. And so it probably ends up being the same. No.
Yep.
No.
Look at this. No.
I mean, the AFC is kind of the same.
Totally mixed it up. The AFC stayed the same, but check out the NFC. It's totally different.
Green Bay at Philly, Washington at the Rams, and Minnesota at Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I
like my picture a lot better. That looks like a lot better matched up games.
What happens if the Chiefs win next week?
The Bengals will be in, I think. No, the Colts would be in. That's right. They need the Colts to lose. So at least in Joe's showing here.
In my...
I mean, they got the easiest schedule. I mean...
They do. The Colts
they got the
have
Giants
the
this
path.
week, and then they have the Jags next week. So, I mean, Joe Flacco taking the... Can Joe Flacco take another team to the playoffs? And then go to Buffalo? I can't let this happen. I can't let this happen. I can't. No. I cannot stand a playoffs where the Broncos don't make it. And I got to watch the Flacco Son stupid banner. all
Oh
day.
man,
No,
come on!
I can't do
The
it.
Flacco Suns, bro.
Ugh.
All
But
right,
yeah,
man.
if the Colts lose and then the Chiefs win, it'd be the Bengals.
Look, guys, the bottom line here is this. There's a lot of do-nothing games this weekend, but you know what? There's a lot of games that matter this weekend, even though you don't think they do. I mean, that what the Broncos do is going to totally dictate what the matchups are in the AFC. And conversely, what happens between the Buccaneers and the Falcons is going to directly impact all these matchups in the playoffs, man.
I mean, the Bengals are Giants and Browns fans today, basically.
Yes, big
Long
time.
shots, but they're fans.
But they're fans. They're big time fans. I know that. Look, we were rooting yesterday for the Broncos, but just wasn't in the cards, man. It was not in the cards.
It was closer than I thought it was going to be. To be honest,
Right.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I honestly did not believe in our defense, and they did. They did what they did. Held them on the goal line several times, and made them do it.
Yeah, their goal line stances were
insane.
Really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
I'm disappointed as always. I'm disappointed in the offense, man. The offense, one first down, we would have tied in and been in the playoffs,
But yeah, the my house right now, we're pulling for everybody that is playing the teams that have played the Rams, right? That's the strength of victory thing. Which does not bode well for the Seahawks at all. But also, we're rooting for everybody that's playing against the Bengals and the Colts and the Broncos to try and get Miami in there. But that's a moot point. I'm pretty sure Broncos going to get in with that win next week. So, they can battle all they want over it, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Anyway, well, with 1 week to go, gentlemen, let's remember what we predicted at the beginning of the season now. I don't have it in front of me all written down, but I do remember what the Super Bowl matchup was. I picked.
Real quick, Joe, before you get into that,
sure.
The last thing we didn't talk about was how many teams need to win today for the Rams to just go ahead and take the spot.
Yeah, it's like six teams, isn't
it? Well, they need like 4 of them to win.
Yeah,
and if they do, then the Rams are clinched today.
Won the division. Yeah,
I can't remember which teams they are. I can't find it right now.
It's one of those weird things, guys, where you have several tiebreakers. Okay, first one always is division record, and it's exactly the same. Okay,
it would be if the Seahawks win.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If we won the game against the Rams next week, we'd have the same division record. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is conference record. It's exactly the same for both of us.
Sorry, Joe. If you tied overall matters first.
Yeah.
And then it's division.
Right. Okay. Or overall first. Yeah. I was assuming people knew that the overall record. If you have one more win
than
in
college.
Yeah.
It does it in college.
I understand. Okay, so overall record, then division record, then conference record. All 3 of these would be tied if we beat the Rams next week. All of them. Okay? So then you get down to strength of victory, and that's what they're talking about. That's what they were talking about all day yesterday, and it's a list of shared opponents that they've played, which the way they make the schedule, if you don't know this, guys, they have them play the same division in the AFC. And I think now that we've got only 6 division teams, I think they do it with like an NFC one too. But they have at least 6 shared opponents. Okay, where they outside the division where they play, the same schedule, and that's what we're talking about. Whoever these are teams you beat. Okay. They look at those, and then they look at how many games those teams won, and that's what the strength of victory thing is. And it leans into the Rams, really. That's why they're saying by the end of the day, it's probably going to be the Rams division because they've got significant wins. The one that glares in my mind is the Buffalo fucking Rams game. They outlasted the Rams. It was unbelievable. It was one of the best games I watched all season. but they torched the Rams and the Buffalo Bills. They torched them, and the Bills kept coming back, but they couldn't. They outlasted them. I mean, it was an amazing game. They have one other big one too. I think. I want to say they beat the Lions this year too. I think. I want to say that's one of them. I'd have to look it up, but they beat two really good teams that have a lot of victories, and that's what's going to kill Seattle, because every team above 500 Seattle's played, they've lost to. So that's what's going to play into the Rams getting the division. Well, it's going to make next week's game a moot point. So
it seems like it's more strength of schedule more than it is strength of victory, because it's showing the Bills on this list. Mm-hmm. And the Seahawks lost to the Bills, so it can't be strength of victory.
Strength of victory means you won the game. You beat that opponent.
Yeah, strength of schedule just means, okay, you face that schedule.
The Rams beat the Bills. It's a shared opponent. We both played them. Seahawks lost to them. They won to them. Yeah. So. And the guys that we beat, shared opponents that we both played, we didn't beat any of them. So, it's weird.
No, see, because it's got the Commanders on this list, and the Seahawks didn't play the Commanders.
Are you sure?
No,
we didn't play the Commanders?
God,
sure?
This stuff's too confusing.
It is confusing. Don't put too much thought into it. Okay. We can... I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put it all together and show them the whole picture.
No, yeah. Interesting. Neither one of them play the Commanders.
Okay.
See, the Commanders not.
We'll do the research and get it together for you next week. Yeah. How's that sound? Because it's going to take a minute. You'd have to go through the whole thing. I'm sure there's some place that has the entire numbers where we can look at it.
Well, that's what I'm looking at right now. I don't even see the Commanders on either side.
Yeah. That means somebody made a typo, because it's got to be shared opponents. It's opponents we both played.
I see nothing about shared opponents. I think you're making that up.
Okay. Maybe it's not shared opponents. Maybe it's just every opponent you've played this year. Maybe it's total victories of people that you played and won. You know what I mean? It's called strength of victory because you beat the team on the list. That's what it's called. And what's calculated is how many wins they have. I heard them talking about it yesterday. They were saying if all the teams on the Rams list win, then they win the division. It has to do with the wins of the opponents that you've beaten, is what it is. It's something like that. So it may not, shared opponents may not be in it. It may just be total wins by the people that you beat. That could be what it is. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, okay. Boys and girls, that's it for this week. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? John, anything you want to talk about?
Actually, I do want to talk about something.
Okay. Talk to me about it then.
Let me share my screen.
Well, then pop it up there and I will share your screen. Boom.
Yeah.
The Tune of Thunder.
Yeah. I have a book that I wrote that is out now. You can get it in hardback, paperback, or from Kindle. It's epic fantasy with a really large dash of Norse mythology. But it's. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but I like it. I wrote it, so.
You're kind of biased, but I'm going to get my copy. It's coming next week sometime. I got my hardback. You see there, it's on Kindle. They've got hardback and paperback. I'm pretty sure that Knock has 2 copies of this, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
He's already got his, though, I think. But yeah, you guys support John's book, and you just had a novella drop too, didn't you?
That drops on Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
It deals with some of the aftermath of the main book. Okay. But it doesn't deal with the main party.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, very cool, man. I love the friggin' cover art you came up with that. That's pretty neat, man. I love that. The friggin' Norse gods are the coolest ones, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
When I played D&D, my main character was Flash Gordon. Called him Flash, right? You know, but my chick character was. I mean, my favorite book that they had in D&D back then was Deities and Demigods, and
Yeah.
they had. She was the goddess of war in the Norse mythology. Freya, that's it.
Yeah.
She had this chariot that was pulled by Black Panthers and stuff. It was very cool, very cool. And I drew the picture of her straight out of the book and everything. You know, it was great stuff, man. Yeah, you guys go support his book. If you throw the link in there, I'll throw it in the chat real quick. Just throw it in the private chat, and I'll throw it in there. Let's see. John's book, because a lot of people they'll watch the replay and see the chat too. So we always want to put that in there.
Okay, well, this is the main book, and you can obviously just follow my author link at the bottom to get to the other book.
Okay.
Or you just click the Clan Oak Willow saga, and it's related to this series down below of that too.
Very cool. All right. Well, there we go. It's in the chat. You guys go check that out and support John's book. Knock, anything you want to say before we get out of here about this week and how much fun we're going to have watching it? Especially, the game tonight's going to be fun to watch, but that Green Bay Packers Minnesota game, woof. Ooh. I think everybody in the country is going to get that one.
Just that this strength of victory thing still makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
I'm literally looking at the picture right now, and
hang on. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
This is what. So yeah, the LA needs. I don't get it because they didn't play Washington, so I don't get why this matters. They didn't play Atlanta, they didn't play Washington, and yet this matters. I don't get it. This doesn't make sense to me. But this is where LA needed 3.5 or whatever this week, so they need, and I guess Cincinnati won, so now they just need 3 of these to win.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they didn't play all these teams. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Maybe it's
they didn't play Cleveland. They didn't play Washington. Neither team did. I don't even think either one of them played Atlanta. So I don't get it. Like neither one of them played Atlanta, and neither one of them played Washington. So I don't get it. It's like there's like some way far-reaching, like someone that Atlanta played that the Rams played. Like it's like way offshoots. I don't. Yeah, it's not making any sense to me. But yeah.
Well, you know what? I am going to make it my mission in life to find
please
out
the
information for you so you don't short circuit. I know it's driving you nuts.
It makes no sense because they
don't worry about it today.
Guys.
I know you're binge watching stuff today, so don't worry about it. I will look it up and I will find out for you. Okay.
I'll probably watch individual games, but there's definitely not that many games I'll be watching today.
Right. I got you. Well, listen, guys, I want to thank you guys for being here. It's always fun talking football with my friends, and I enjoy the hell out of it. I hope you guys watch and enjoy it too. And if you're catching this on the replay, follow everything we do. John is part of Pop Culture Minefield. He's on there a lot. He's got his own channel too. Knock is a guest on my channels and Pop Culture Minefield. So you guys definitely support everything we do. And you guys have a great weekend. Have a happy new year. That will happen before we see you again. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.